Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to react to Jordan Cheyenne's, not her most recent video, but she did a Q&A. I've not seen it, and I figured it would be a good one to react to since I recently discussed her return to YouTube. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Alright you guys, so Jordan uploaded this video a few days ago. She is back to uploading on YouTube as she said she would be. And I want to reiterate something before we get into this video. Keep in mind, I haven't seen it. This is a true blind reaction this time. And I just want to say, on the video that I did reacting to her return to YouTube, most people had a pretty solid opinion about everything, but I want to reiterate kind of my stance to make it very clear. This is not someone who made a simple mistake and it was something innocent that was blown way out of proportion and people got upset for something really silly. What she did to her son was very serious, and I'm going to include the clip again in this video for anyone who hasn't seen it. Maybe you didn't see my last video, maybe you're a new subscriber, because when I see that video, it reminds me of why people like myself are so upset with Jordan. So if you're not in the mood to see that clip, or you want to fast forward about a minute or so, and it will be over. But let's roll the clip and then we'll get into the reaction to the new video.
She will make it.
She will make it.
She will make it.
She will make it.
Please pray for her. I know she's gonna make it through. She's an amazing, beautiful little girl, and I can't wait for her to bring her home and be part of our family. So if you could pray for us, we appreciate it. I love you guys. Bye. Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Come closer. Closer. Down. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick.
I am crying.
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video. Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth.
No, Mom, I'm actually crying.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm actually crying.
I know. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
So I'm sure you guys can understand why that clip would be upsetting to so many people. It doesn't matter if you're a parent, if you're a pet owner, if you're just someone who is a subscriber of hers. Maybe you didn't know who she was before that happened. It doesn't matter. What she did was huge, and it always seems like, you know, YouTubers want to come back right before their channel gets demonetized, right before, you know, that almighty dollar goes away from YouTube. So it is typically anywhere from a month to maybe 5 or so months. Anywhere in between there. They also think that the dust has kind of settled. They can make a safe return. This is not something that I'm going to forget about. Now, am I going to do constant videos about her? Absolutely not, because frankly, I find her boring. And whoa, some people find me boring, and that is all good. I'm not here to say that. You know, I'm more entertaining than the person next to me, not at all. But as far as watching her videos and doing constant reactions, I just don't think that there's a whole lot to say about her content outside of what happened with her son, and this video discusses that, so that's why this is a reaction right now. Going forward, I don't know if I'll talk about her. If she does something problematic, I obviously will, but I think that this will be my final video on her for at least the short term, unless something crazy happens, which with these influencers, who knows? It seems like something is always happening when nobody's expecting it. So Time will tell, but let's get into the reaction. I do have this video at 1.5 times speed because it is almost 30 minutes and I don't want to keep you guys here for 2 hours, you know, and bore you to death. So
hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for popping over to check out a video. I greatly appreciate it. We are gonna do today a chit chat, get ready with me, extremely casual. I'm just doing like some light makeup to go out with Christian later. So I figured we could just sit down and chit chat about everything. Now that I kind of got my first video back out there into the universe, a lot of you have questions on the type of content I'm gonna be doing since I'm not gonna be including Christian, things in my personal, private life, so many questions. I asked on IG and you guys did not hop back, but it's okay because that's the point. I'm here, I'm ready to address everything. I won't make this long because I'm just a rambly person and I'm also, the whole situation has obviously affected my life so much, so I feel like there's a lot to say, but a few things I wanna mention just really quick because they're just not sitting right with me. And
the first thing I want to say is this is consistent from her last video to now. It's constantly how this has affected her life, how this has affected her mental health. And I fully understand that. But like I said in my last video, I really hope that that same energy is being placed towards concern for her son and his mental health and his well-being and his, are you okay? How are you feeling today? Because when you go through something traumatic like that, every day is different, especially when you're dealing with a child who doesn't really understand their mental health at that young age. They don't understand, you know, kind of the ebbs and flows of going through something that is detrimental and upsetting. They don't know how to unpack, well, I'm really sad today, but tomorrow is going to be better. And then the next day I might be a little sad. And then, you know, it comes and goes. So nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes, but I would hope that while she's so focused on making sure everyone knows how upset she was for being canceled, I hope that that same energy tenfold is being placed towards her son and his mental health as well.
I just need to get it out there. In my prior video, a lot of people said one of the main like criticisms was, oh, I wish she would just be honest that she didn't delete her channel, she deactivated it. I deleted my channel, guys. I swear on everything. You can go talk to any YouTube rep you want, look into the history of however you need to verify that. I do have a bunch of emails that I was going back and forth with them on about trying to get my channel back. I can pop them up here. I don't know what other proof I can give you, but I was told that I couldn't get it back like 5 or 6 times. I went through like a 10 to 12 email thread with them, and then
At this point in time, the deleting versus deactivating thing, I don't really even care because she's back on YouTube, but this also really speaks to the distrust that people have with influencers. Once you are shown to be a terrible person, regaining trust from subscribers is a very long and difficult journey if you ever get it back. And it's just so much easier to not lie, say that you deactivated it. Now, she really did delete it. Like I said, I don't know why, of all the channels that were ever deleted, why would hers be able to be recovered by YouTube of all channels? I call BS, but that's just my personal opinion.
Finally got restored. So yes, I did officially fully delete my channel months ago, and obviously I was able to get it back after a lot of like back and forth with them. Another thing is in the comments, a lot of people are saying, I can't believe she's just saying that this whole thing was a mistake. I am so apologetic if I ever gave off that impression. What happened was disgusting. There's no excuse. I said in that video, I took that action and I'm deeply regretful, deeply apologetic. And I've been through so much with my son and mentally the past, 5 months that you guys have not seen. This has affected my entire world, guys. My whole job was taken away for 5 whole months. I mean, it's like so many other things just mentally that I was going through. And a few other comments were like, oh, she's just making herself the victim. She's crying the whole video. Guys, this affected my whole life, like very badly. Yes, because of an extremely poor action that I took. I'm very well aware that I brought that on, which has also been, why I've had a deep sadness within me that I'm the one that caused all of that. I know this, guys. I in no way.
See, it's constantly me, my job, my mental health, my sadness, my world. Instead of focusing so much on herself, what could have been done is, without including her son, she could have not go into really specific details, but if she would have come out of the gate by saying, this is what I'm doing for my son, and then talk about her own feelings, that other video felt so much like me. And based on the words that are coming out of her own mouth, she's still there. It's my job, my world, my mental health, my sadness. We understand what happened, and I think a lot of her subscribers were calling it a mistake by forgiving her and dismissing what happened. Because when you label something as a mistake, it tends to be easily forgotten for a lot of people. Oh, well, it was just a mistake. So maybe that's her subscribers' way of almost lying to themselves about how big of a deal this was and how serious this was. Oh, well, it was a mistake, so I'm sure that she's really sorry. We all make mistakes, so let's just move on. I don't know. If you forgive easily, that's great for you. But like I said, in other recent videos especially, I'm at the point where if you show me who you are, I'm going to believe you. And then over an extended period of time, by viewing actions, is where I would decide, do I want to continue to support this person or do I not? And a lot of people don't take their viewership or their subscriptions seriously. I do. I have limited time, and I also have limited patience as far as these influencers out here just fucking off left and right, being terrible people. I don't need to waste my life, minutes of my life, watching people online. I have better things to do with my time, but that's just me.
Think that that was just, oh, a tiny little mistake and it's okay. Not at all. Not whatsoever at all. And I know I can't really prove to everyone everything that I've done, you know, with the work mentally and Christian and going to therapy and just a lot of things that I've kind of restructured in my life. And I really, really hope that my content will prove that to you moving forward. Last thing I want to address really quick, people are saying like, oh, I typed out a comment and I don't even see it here. She's not willing to hear criticism. First of all, I'm always willing to hear criticism. I turn the comments on that video, of course. They're going to be on every future video. My channel has always welcomed comments, but I have deleted, and I will be super honest about that. I've deleted a ton that say, you're just a piece of shit, you don't love your kid. Things that are just straight up not factual, that are not true. I'm not gonna allow that on my page. I built out my channel and community and Instagram for 7 years. I deserve to have a positive, loving space here. And if something is over the limit of excessive bullying, damn right I'm gonna delete it. I am not here for that. I'm coming back, literally gonna do the best that I can do. And if someone is over the line with like threats or just shit that's just untrue, like, oh, you literally don't love your child, like literally fuck off. Of course I do. You know what I mean? Like, so that kind of stuff is not welcome. If you type out a comment that—
So you don't like people cussing at you, but you're cussing at other people, telling them to fuck off. That is hypocrisy. Now, using cuss words, I don't care. There's been some comments in my comment section where people have said that they've not populated, but YouTube is also wild. Like, they will flag certain words, they don't like certain words, and it won't show up at all. But if someone has the opinion that you are not a good person, then just leave the comment. Like, they are reacting to actions that you did. And this is not something that is a rumor that someone's saying, oh, well, I heard she did so-and-so. And then they're leaving a comment saying, you know, you're a piece of shit. Like, if people think that you're not a good person because of something that you actually did, then welcome to YouTube, Jordan. You should know better.
Is, you know, constructive or whatever. Like, I've had some people on Instagram this past week and I love their DMs. Like, this one girl was like, hey, I just want to let you know I was so disappointed in you a few months. I don't know if I'm going to follow you or not moving forward, but I respect your apology and, you know, we all fuck up. And she said her opinion in just a respectful way. Of course I left that comment up. Like, I'm always here for the constructive criticism, or even if you have something not nice to say, but it's in like a kind way. But the cussing and all of that, yes, I'm going to block you. I'm going to take that shit off my page. I don't want it. Like, the amount of bullying and stuff that I've had the past 5 months went to such a level that you guys don't even know. A few things happened that are regarding my safety and scary that I'm still dealing with that I'm just not going to talk about on camera because it's not the time or place, and I don't want people thinking, oh, you're the victim.
Oh my God, she is a professional victim. She keeps saying that she's not trying to be a victim, but listen to the words that are coming out of her own mouth. I understand that people will send unsavory messages, they will leave unsavory comments, but those are such a small handful compared to people that are just upset. And these are people that might have supported you for all, you know, 6 or 7 years that you've been creating content for YouTube. And they have every right to leave a comment. It is so ridiculous to me how every single influencer wants to say that they can take constructive criticism, but their constructive criticism is along the lines of, I love you so much, you're such an amazing person, but I'm a little bit let down. That to them is constructive criticism. It's not, hey, you really f***ed up, I don't think that you're a good person, and I don't know if I'll be back to your channel. That's considered bullying. Get real.
But this shit got to such a crazy level, guys, like behind the scenes, and I'm still dealing with some of it, and I'm absolutely just not going to entertain that energy anymore. God, this video's already getting long. But really quick, I do just want to say, I was bawling the night that I uploaded that video. I had so much anxiety. I was gonna upload it. It was like 3 days worth that I was like, should I upload? Should I upload? And I obviously knew I was coming back to like a lot of hate. And
she had to upload before YouTube took monetization off. We've already figured that out. You know, if it was that big of a deal where it was sending her into a tailspin and just affecting her mental health even worse than it allegedly already was, then any other person would have just said, I'm not going to upload right now. Let them take monetization, because I'm looking after my own mental health first, and I'm going to protect myself and, my son. Because if you're putting your own mental health first, then you're also looking out for your child or children simultaneously. Because if you're not well, or you're not happy or in a good mental headspace, then that will trickle down and affect your child because of how you're acting. It will, eradicate good quality time with your kids because you're not in a good mental headspace. So there's a lot to that. But at the end of the day, most of us have figured out that the reason she came back when she did was because YouTube was going to take away monetization. And B, she was also tired of not making money. Let's be real.
And I just pushed myself to upload it, and I fell asleep literally crying that night because I was so overwhelmed, literally overwhelmed with the love. The comments on that video, of course there's gonna be, bad and mean ones, but you guys came through for me so much and just gave me grace and were so loving and supportive. I saw hundreds, thousands, over 1,000 literally comments of what you did was not right, but we're here for you. We love you. Those of you who've been watching me for so long, you know how much I love Christian. I think other moms too want to extend that grace because everyone knows no one is perfect.
I am sorry, nobody is perfect does not apply to what she did to her son. Nobody is perfect is maybe snapping at him for, wanting something in the grocery store and throwing a temper tantrum and not being happy with it. What she did was so far out of bounds when it comes to just having a bad moment or a bad take, or maybe saying something to him that you regretted. That was so, and you guys saw the clip, I put it in the beginning of the video. It was so orchestrated and it was so over the top and disgusting. Yeah, if y'all want to go give her praise, by all means, go for it. But this is not someone who made a simple mistake and it was just fake outrage.
But I literally thought I was going to come back to half love and half hate. And when I uploaded that video, it was 90% love. I literally genuinely was shocked and so
If it was 90% love, then why are you so focused on the few bad comments that you got? And why are you so focused on the bullying and the negativity? If it was literally 90% love, then why are you even talking about the negativity?
insanely grateful, and I really do stand by the fact that I built such a beautiful, loving, encouraging community over the years, before I took my break. And you guys have made me feel so comfortable and supported and given me that grace, and that's pushing me to want to be, excited about coming back and putting out content for you, and that does not go unnoticed. Every DM, every comment, I just really, really need to say thank you. Okay, no, that was extremely long. This video is going to be long and chatty. I've been off for months. I feel like we have a lot to talk about, but I feel like for me to move forward, those things just needed to be said, so I appreciate you listening. We're going to do a quick get ready with me. I'm going to use the MAC C4 powder, Tarte Concealer, and the Milani 2-in-1 foundation in shade number 3. Also, Sonia Kashuk has a huge new body sponge, which I use for my face foundation, and it just spreads it out super quick and is amazing, iconic. We love her. So I asked on IG for questions. I'm gonna just answer a few real quick and a few updates that I know that I saw the most. Then I'll actually look at my phone and go into more detailed questions. But the main thing people were asking is, where are you living? Obviously, I'm still here in the apartment. A lot of new followers I noticed, or new people who watched my video, commented and said, oh, I went to your IG, I have never heard of you before this, and it looks like you bought a house, so why are you saying you live in an apartment? If you missed it, I talked a little bit about this before I kind of had my YouTube break, but so I did buy a house in 2020. In June, literally the biggest accomplishment. If you go back to my old Q&As, I would always say, people would be oh, what's your dream? And I was oh, financial security for Christian, having a good future, and being a homeowner. Getting approved to be a homeowner, being 100% self-employed, knowing I did it all by myself, that was always the biggest goal for me, and I was able to attain that, and I love that house. So yeah, I bought that house in 2020, and was in a relationship at the time whenever I bought it, and then over time, COVID hit, or no, I bought it right when COVID hit. Anyways, fast forward, I lived in that house a little over a year, and then I decided to rent it out and move up here closer to the beach. I'm 10 minutes from Laguna Beach. I lived in the IE most of my life, and I kind of just wanted to get out of there. That's not my forever place to live, I kind of just want a change, something new. And I'm gonna just be fully honest with you guys, a huge reason that I moved here was for the relationship I was in at the time. There was talk of us possibly living here together, which obviously didn't end up happening. But it was my personal decision to move here. I don't blame anyone else, but that was a big reason for it. And that's another thing. A lot of you have asked if I'm still in a relationship. Nope. I've actually been out of that relationship for a hot minute. So we actually broke up back in August. I think I mentioned it in a video maybe before I took my YouTube break. And he has asked me to not talk about him. So I want to 100% respect that. So not talk about him. I know everyone always wants the drama, the chisme, totally get it. So yeah, I've given my word that I won't talk about him, but I will say on my end, from my feelings and everything, what I chose to show of that relationship was incredibly genuine. I met him, totally fell for him. He made me so happy at a point in life where I was struggling with some things mentally, and he really came in and brought such a happiness to me. And I feel like we had a very good year. I mean, we had ups and downs, but we made some great memories. And of course, I'm grateful that I shared that with you guys. You know, just because something ended, I don't like regret sharing it or anything. I had a lot of happy moments with him, and I know in my heart that he's a good man and deserves the absolute best, even though that we're not ending up together. And if you watch my channel,
having a relationship and being on YouTube is a very tricky space to navigate, because what ends up happening is you do share, sorry, Axel's drinking out of his water bowl. Hold on. So like I was saying, having a relationship on YouTube is very tricky because especially early on, you don't know if it's going to work out. Like that's also an avenue of, you know, putting someone else on your channel when you're not sure how long they're going to be around. And then sometimes subscribers will feel entitled to know information about the breakup. They will want to know information about the significant other. A lot of them will find the significant other and send them hate. And we already saw with Kyra and Oscar, you've seen how obviously they're a completely different situation, but just to put into perspective, people start taking sides. They start to place blame. They want to figure out what really happened. They'll start building conspiracy theories. So I don't know, putting anyone but yourself on your YouTube channel, I think can open up a whole can of worms when it comes to that person no longer being in your life, whether it's a friend, a, you know, romantic partner, a spouse, whomever it is. It could be a family member. I don't know. I understand everyone kind of makes their own decisions with that, but when you, as someone who has a YouTube channel, makes the decision to protect the people that you love, I really admire that in YouTubers, and I admire not knowing everything about this person and everyone who's in their life. That's just me.
For a long time, like all I've ever wanted is to be married and have that soulmate and that best friend. I've always had like a deep desire for that, and I know it's gonna happen. I know it is. I mean, I highly believe every single relationship that I've been in has taught me things, so many things. I mean, when I ended this relationship, when this relationship ended in August, you know, I thought, okay, it's not gonna take me too long to get over. We were only together for a year. God really said, you thought. There was so much more mentally and emotionally for me to work through than I even realized. And I was much sadder, if I'm just gonna be totally honest, than I thought I would be. And it's taken a very hot minute mentally to get through a lot of things. Even though we didn't spend like 10 years together, you know, there's an emotional tie and a bond that you build with someone. And I think when every relationship ends, it takes time, you know, and that's okay. But I do, of course, have that core. I have the 100% belief that my person is out there, of course. I mean, they're coming into my life at the right time when I've learned what I needed to learn, and I'm, you know, evolving on my personal growth journey. And I'm sure right now that person is learning so many things in their life, and they're, you know, getting prepared up to meet me. And I still have that 100% faith. I haven't like lost all hope and love. I have that faith that that person is out there and gonna be, you know, in my and Christian's life when the time is right. And I have to just hold out the hope and joy and excitement for that. So another big question that people had, and that they're asking, someone DM'd me, she's like, I really hope you'll talk about this. I hope you don't shy away from it. But like, we all have the question about finances. If you haven't been working for 5 months, like, was everything okay? What happened? Like, are you dirt broke? Of course I'm gonna address it. I'm not gonna really shy away from anything. I'm coming back and really gonna try to be as authentic with you guys as possible. I can't share super intimate details about certain things, but I feel like I've always just kind of been an open book.
So does that mean that she wasn't authentic before? I know that she says that she's been an open book, but being an open book and being authentic are two completely different things. Because I could appear as if I'm an open book, but the information that I'm giving to you guys could be completely false. It could be embellished, and that's very interesting to hear that now her approach is to be authentic. I think authentic and being an open book are two different things, but what do I know?
So yeah, I made an incredible income on social media, which I worked really hard for and built my, you know, business and everything for 7 years. And for those who are new here, I don't just do YouTube. I have an Instagram course and an abundance course. I had certain sponsorships, affiliate links, like everything combined together. I definitely had an incredible income and was so blessed for that. And yes, I had that entire...
Listen, all of these influencer courses, you guys know how I feel about them. So I'm not going to rant every single video about the same thing, but these influencer courses are BS. What an influencer does is they get into the algorithm, they're starting to make a little bit of money, and they decide to capitalize on that. Oh, I did it. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to tell you guys what I think kind of the core parts of becoming a successful influencer, YouTuber, Part of it is luck. Let's just be honest, because there are plenty of people on this platform who have zero talent, zero integrity, zero personality, that have millions of followers, if not hundreds of thousands, and make a ton off of brand deals and AdSense, which is fine. That part, I think, is luck. The second part is being consistent, making sure that you're putting up content consistently. You're not doing one video a month and then you might throw in 2 or 3 within a couple of days and then you're back to every other month. Consistency is key, and making your presence known, and obviously being genuine. Now, I'm not saying be an open book, because that could mean anything. That could mean just telling you all kind of stories about my past relationships. Who knows if they're true? Giving out all kinds of family stories and just putting stuff out for attention and not knowing if it's true. That's kind of being an open book to me. Being genuine is not lying, not scamming, answering things as you're comfortable. You don't have to answer every single question that is asked in order to be genuine. That's just my personal opinion. Being genuine can come from a place of wanting to protect certain things and keep certain things off your channel, but giving an honest answer on things that you are comfortable answering.
Thing taken away for 5 months. That would be hard on anyone. Yes, I had savings, but I'm not gonna lie, it was a huge change. I had 2 part-time employees at the time. They obviously stopped working for me throughout this time. And I will say it's totally been a bit of a struggle. I mean, I've had, the finances and stuff saved up for what Christian and I need, but I cut out so many.
Why would she have 2 part-time employees? You are a full-time YouTuber that is evidently a whiz enough to be able to teach people how to become a successful influencer. I will never understand this when it comes to someone being a full-time content creator and having employees when they're not doing that much. Now, I understand she's a mom. I'm not talking about that side of things, but we're not talking about someone who's doing constant live streams, uploading daily, has a huge business to run where they're shipping out a bunch of different products. I don't know, to have 2 part-time employees, I understand maybe hiring an editor, take some of the, work off your plate, but 2 part-time employees, wow.
Things, guys. I cut out so many subscriptions I didn't need, cut out all of that. We literally went to the dollar store for stuff. I put myself on an incredibly tight budget, and of course it was hard. I mean, I literally was making, my income, which was taken away for 5 months. Now, I do want to say,
God forbid you have to go to the dollar store. We're really just, living at the lowest of the low because you have to go to the dollar store.
in that time, to be totally honest with you guys, I did get some side work within the PR, marketing, social media industry, helping other people with things that they needed. Obviously not me. I was not on camera, kind of assisting in other people's businesses. So I had some small jobs here and there because that's the field I was already in.
Who would want her assisting them in their business? Not me, just saying.
And that's what I know how to do, and I was able to pick up that work. I wasn't just obviously sitting home doing nothing. I love working. I love, feeling like waking up and feeling like I have a purpose and getting shit done. I'm not one to just sit here and be lazy. But at the same time, I totally did have those days where I would sit home and do nothing. And it's really hard to articulate. There's so much that I've had to go through mentally the past 5 months on, the relationship ending, this all happening with work. A lot of things just literally crumble in my world, to be super honest with you. And
Me, crumbling in my world, my relationship, my. Oh God, I hope that she is doing this for her son as well, and maybe she's just not saying it. But based off the way that she's been delivering this video and the last video, it does seem very self-serving. And I think that's something that can also come along with being a successful YouTuber or influencer. A lot of them become very self-serving. They become very much, what's in this for me? How can I benefit from this? How can I monetize this? How can I make more money from this? Not saying everyone's like that, but a lot of them are, and I see it get worse as time goes on.
had a lot to work through mentally, a ton. Some days I really just had to give myself grace and work through those things and cry a lot. If you watch my videos, I'm very emotional. I cry when I see someone, achieve something or they're happy or in love, and I cry so much when things are tough and hard. That's just how I show my emotions. I just feel like I'm an empathetic and sensitive person like that. But yeah, it's been a lot to work through, aside from just what happened with work. But yeah, I had all my income taken away, which is would be like literally hard on anyone, and I can be incredibly upfront about that. Now I know a lot of you want to know about Rosie. If you don't follow my Instagram and you would like to, I would love to have you. I did a whole slide the other day with like 10 pictures of her kind of sharing her story and the timeline, but she did make it, thank God. She was in the emergency vet for I think like almost 2 weeks, treating the parvo, and then she came home and was still kind of weak. She had like her arm wrapped up in a bandage because she had IVs and stuff, but is now doing so much better and is the best of friends with Sadie. Let me see where she is. She's too short. You guys won't see her up in the camera. I'll put tons of pictures right here. But yeah, she did make it, and her and Sadie are literally the best of friends. I put the funniest pictures up on my Instagram because when I first brought her home, Sadie was like, Mom, bitch. It was like, I'm the queen of this house. What the hell, Mom? It was so funny. Rosie would go and fall asleep like on her stomach, and Sadie would just go to the other end of the room and be like, I'm not sleeping with her, like I'm not bonding with her. But now it's been a few months and it's so cute. I'll take them to the dog park together and just out to play. And also whenever I have to go out and run errands or do whatever, I feel.
I'm so glad that Rosie made it. Like, all of this other nonsense put aside, dogs are too good for this world. They are the sweetest souls. They are the purest, best friend that you could ever ask for. So I'm so glad that Rosie made it. Again, this has been a terrible clusterfuck of manipulation, exploitation, a little bit of sad fishing, a little bit of lying, but all of that put aside, Rosie is so cute. I have a soft spot for Goldens. I think they're just so precious and just cute. As puppies and adults, I think they're cute. Y'all know I have a lab. But I would say a close second would definitely be Golden Retrievers. I think they're so cute.
Really good knowing that Sadie has a companion here. I feel like she has someone to play with and bond with, and they're so cute. Rosie, I know in my heart that I found her at that exact time for a reason, and she was like meant to be in our family, and she's super cute. That kind of leads me into another thing. Obviously, we just do have an apartment right now, which is not ideal for 2 dogs at all, so we're gonna be moving. I'm not sure the exact dates or exact details of that, but I will share that with you guys. I know it seems like I've moved a lot the past few years. That's just life. It is what happened. But I deeply miss my house, if we're gonna be honest. I probably should have never moved here, if we're gonna be real. I was really just trying to cater to that relationship, and I bought a brand new, beautiful home, and it was such an accomplishment. Like, I have had a pretty deep sadness within me about leaving that house, so we're gonna kind of see what can happen there. I have amazing rent.
Why in the hell would you sell a house to cater to a relationship? That is the dumbest thing that I've ever heard of. There is no way that, there's just no way that makes any logical sense in my mind. I don't know, maybe stuff was going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, but how would, now I understand, if you're in a long distance relationship and you're thinking about moving to be closer to the person, things like that happen, but to sell your house and now you have 2 dogs in an apartment, I don't know. And I understand dogs can live a very happy, fulfilled life in an apartment. My dog lives in an apartment. I always said I would never get a second dog until we have a backyard. But at the same time, to downsize seems a little useless to me unless it was absolutely required.
Renters in there who are the kindest people, and I can't disturb them or change their plans, so we're just gonna see what happens. But I just want it to be obviously a space where Christian is happy and loved and has friends, and where obviously the dogs have like more room to run, and it's just literally a better life for them. Also, so on that note, that's why my background kind of sucks today. It is what it is. I'm in the apartment for now, but I will get a cute, filming setup.
Okay, so she has renters in the house. It still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but let's move on.
Going or seeing about where we're gonna be location-wise and get you guys something cuter, and it's just a boring kitchen right now. Just work with me. Another huge question that people had was, if you're not gonna show Christian, what is your future content gonna look like? And I have 2 answers. One, I have a few things pre-filmed and I have some ideas. I actually made tons of content without Christian. If you've been on my channel a while, of course I showed like vlogs and stuff and us going out and doing fun stuff, and just our life and like a lot of mom struggles and stuff like that. But I have a ton of videos on my channel that do not involve Christian. All of my like old Boss Babe series where I talk about just how I made social media into a job, improving my
Boss Babe, major MLM vibes. That's also, I think, why I can't stand the whole idea of this influencer marketing class that a lot of them do, is it reminds me a lot of MLMs, because you buy this course with these, open-ended promises of you're going to be successful and I'll give you all the secrets. And then you go to look at some of these people that have done testimonials and they're not doing anything. And they've taken the class a year or 2 ago and they're still stagnant in their growth. I just don't believe in the master classes. Again, maybe that's a me problem, but I think it's a huge money grab. I think that it's a borderline scam because there are promises given that the influencer cannot fulfill. They're just going to give you basic information. There's nothing that's in those influencer courses that you wouldn't be able to find for free online with a little bit of research. What are they going to give you? Some of their special to-do lists with their pretty font and their beige, color blocking pattern. I can find that for free online. I can go buy a notebook for 50 cents at, Target and write down what I need to do. I'm telling you, a lot of it is luck, getting yourself into the algorithm, and the other part is being consistent, very consistent, and be genuine with your audience.
Credit, a lot of mindset things that I worked through, working through my personal fitness and weight issues and mentality and all that. None of that includes Christian, and I would love to still share all of that part of my life with you guys. I have 2 videos pre-filmed. I fell down the TikTok rabbit hole of people going to thrift stores and making the cutest outfits and being on the hunt for old designer stuff and flannels, and it's so much fun to watch those TikToks. So I did one of those videos, which will be here on my channel. And then I also pre-filmed a new year kind of organize with me situation in coming back to this job and just, juggling parenting and everything. I need to be as organized as possible. And we all know that I just was not born that organized type A bitch. No, God said, absolutely not. You're gonna have ADHD and be forgetful and really disorganized. But I'm trying to improve that. So the other day I had a huge Costco haul and I organized the entire.
So this disorganized influencer who doesn't get the greatest engagement. Now, I'm not throwing shade because I don't get the greatest engagement either, but I'm not selling an influencer course of how to be a great influencer. So what are we paying you for, Jordan?
Kitchen and pantry, and I showed you guys all my organizers and just kind of everything, how I set it up so I can be the most productive, be the best mom, be as efficient as possible in my work. So I filmed all of that. So those videos are coming. So I have some ideas and I have some stuff pre-filmed, but the second half of that answer is, I don't know. I'm just gonna take it day by day and just share my whole life with you guys as I was before, just without showing Christian on camera. As I mentioned, down the line, he's gonna be in an Instagram picture here and there. He's my son. He's literally my whole life. And I think that's okay and that's healthy. But as for video footage of Christian on my channel, I really want to stick to my word and commitment to just keep him off here. So I think there's a way I can obviously sit down and still talk about mom life and things I'm going through and being a mom.
She knows for a fact that she would be absolutely dragged across the internet if she were to come back and break this promise too soon. So what I think she's going to do is be, consistent for a few months without showing him. And then eventually he will be back on her channel, just because this is someone who, in my opinion, how much content can she really put out that doesn't feature her son? She might be able to switch it up and do some different kinds of series and stuff like that. So I guess time will tell, but my prediction is eventually he will definitely be back on her channel.
And without showing his face and his whole life here on camera. And that's another thing too, I was looking through, someone said in the comments of my prior video, they said, oh, if you really loved Christian, blah, 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 why is it that I go to your channel and I still see videos of him? I don't have to go back and take down every single piece of footage of him online, forever. We've been making videos for 9 years. We have some amazing times with his birthday and Disneyland and stuff that I think is healthy content that I'm so proud of. And I watch the footage back and he's so joyful and I love it. So yeah, I did keep some of that stuff on my channel, but I removed every single thing that was a chit chat about something medically or something personal in life. I really did my due diligence on what I think would be best mentally. And
which is fine. And, she can do whatever she wants with that content, but I also have an opinion about it. When it comes to this birthday, Christmas, vacation vlog footage, if the plan was to really protect him and his identity from being all over YouTube, then that could be something that was removed, hopefully not already shared, with other people. Nobody said there's a problem with filming birthdays or vacations, but the issue is that YouTubers automatically want to turn it into a way to profit. They want to be able to use it for their own pockets, and that's where this whole conversation comes up with kids being exploited for views on YouTube. That's why people are upset. There's nothing wrong with filming your kid. I said in a video that I did on the Ballinger family, go watch that if you haven't. I have a DVD collection of moments from my childhood, and anytime I want to look back on those, I pop in a DVD and I can see anything from birthdays to beach trips to Christmases to one year when I was a kid, I had the chicken pox, and I had the chicken pox on Christmas. It was so annoying, but I can look at all of that footage and have memories and good feelings attached to those clips. Just because you're filming it, it doesn't mean that it needs to turn into $1 for you.
If and when I choose to show him in a photo on Instagram in the future, it'll be with my discretion at the right time in a healthy, balanced way. And I can be so upfront with you guys in saying that that's one of my main.
How about with his discretion? Why don't you ask him what he's okay with posting? Why don't you let him look at the picture and say, I want to share that, or I don't want to share that? Because with her son being the age that he is, he's almost 10 years old. So he is getting to that point where he can look at a picture and say, I don't like that picture. I don't like what I'm wearing. I don't like the way that I look. He's still very young, but instead of her discretion, why don't you say, I'm going to leave it up to my son once in a while. If I share a photo, he is going to approve the photo that is put onto Instagram.
Goals this year is approaching social media in a healthy, balanced way. I think it's super easy to get caught up into it, and I can be super upfront about that. On Instagram and stuff, feeling like you always have to have the camera out and vlog this and share this moment and do this, otherwise you're not going to keep up with everyone, But obviously for the mental health of Christian and myself and just life in general, I'm going to really try to, I want to say, limit my time on social media, even though it's my job. I'm not going to be obsessing over every comment, every this, watching every video of my friends. Like, I'm going to post my content and enjoy it. And obviously it's, my work, but also be as present as I can in my daily life. And I can just admit that that's been a struggle. And I'm really trying to approach the future in like literally the most balanced way as I can. And I'm just going to take it day by day. Now, in saying that, I just want to say really quick, I know everyone's always like, don't address the haters, don't even give it any attention. I am at such a place in my life mentally where I absolutely cannot and will not do myself the disservice of giving any attention to extremely negative people, haters, gossip. If you see a gossip page about me or a super mean comment or a super mean video, don't send it to me. I'm not watching it. I completely refuse to do myself the mental disservice of doing that. I used to check the gossip about me all the time because, first of all, some people have put things out there that are just like a safety concern, and I felt like I had to check it and see if my safety was at risk for any reason.
Who is out here making really hateful content about Jordan? Can you guys point me in that direction? Because any drama or commentary video that I've seen about this situation, because aside from that, I don't really see people talking about her, I'll be honest. But the videos that I have seen are talking about this situation and why it's wrong and opening up a discussion about this situation. Behind the scenes of a thumbnail, why this is a problem. Are other families doing it? Most likely. Let's talk about it. I don't see just videos dragging her, but I could be wrong. So if you guys have, let me know.
Which is just so sad and so wrong mentally to do to another person. If you don't like them or you want to say you're ugly, you're fat, whatever, fine. But to put my son and I in danger, just certain things that have been taken past the limit, it's not okay. I'm absolutely not dealing with it. Also, I mentioned in my comeback video, certain people have made Facebook profiles of me, uploaded pictures of Christian acting like it's their son or acting like they're me and that's their kid. First of all, that's illegal. It's disgusting. I will be dealing with it. Like, don't even try me on any of that this year because I'm not even dealing with it. I don't have the time. But to go back to the hate comments and stuff, I used to see mean things about me all the time, and I would really do myself the disservice of reading that stuff and then feeling terrible about myself. It's really hard to hear other people talk absolute shit about you. I mean, and you guys know I'm really emotional. I would get really upset and cry, and especially when people say certain things that are just downright wrong, and I obviously am not there to like defend myself or defend my character, but I just...
Who is out here saying these kinds of things about her? I'm truly confused. People have very strong opinions about a child being manipulated on camera. Aside from that, I don't know. I mean, if people are attacking her for her physical appearance or her weight or anything like that, you guys know how I feel about that. It's completely off limits, but we can't also just focus on those couple of comments and disregard all of the ones that are saying, this is wrong, this is how I feel about it, and other kind of points of discussion around this topic, because there are a couple of people that said things that are completely wrong and vile and it's trash. But I feel like a lot of times what influencers do is they try to overshadow the neutral or somewhat negative viewpoints by saying, oh, well, look at these couple of people that commented on the way that I look. People online are gross. They're gonna comment about the way that you look, the way that you sound, what you wear, what you talk like, the words that you use. That's just how some people are, but it's such a small fraction that at a certain point it's pretty easy to ignore. Maybe that's just me, but initially it is hard to see comments like that about yourself. But at a certain point, why am I putting my energy towards that when I have other people over here wanting to have a conversation with me or send me a DM so we can talk about stuff? Like, why am I even focused on that? And if she's supposed to be such a master influencer, you would think that she would know that by now.
I promised myself moving forward, I can't check that stuff. It's so bad for me mentally. Literally all I can do is move forward on a day-to-day basis and do my absolute best in life and work as a mom. And there's just, I've also realized, like, I also used to preach this a lot to my audience, but it took me a while to fully believe it and embody it myself. You just can't change someone's mind about you. If they're committed, like super committed to misunderstanding you, nothing you do is ever gonna be good enough. Like if you just hate me no matter what, I could literally just be eating a sandwich and you'd be like, oh, look at the way she eats her sandwich. Like I fucking hate her. Like, bro, I'm not even doing anything. Am I bothering you in your life? No, you're just committed to hating. And I am not whatsoever giving any of my time, energy, anything like that to that this year. I have to be in such a
Except right now in this video and the last video when you talked about the negativity and hate that you got to.
good, strong mental state for me and my family and Christian and my dogs. I don't have the time. So don't send it to me. Don't DM it to me. I'm not reading it. I'm not watching it. People can have whatever opinion that they want, but I refuse to entertain that. And I know that that is what's best for my mental health. So in addition to that, I'm just wiping off the bake here. People were asking, why does this thing go out of focus? People were asking like tons of other questions, sorry about that. On IG, I popped up like a little question box about the future. Another thing people were asking is, am I still gonna be running my business, doing my courses? Absolutely. My website is currently down right now. All of courses.
Still scamming, still giving people promises that you can't keep, how to grow your audience, how to become an influencer.
Another misconception. She took away anyone who bought a course from her doesn't have access. Are you kidding me? Come on, guys. I have like almost 2,000 students with both my courses combined. Of course, all of my current students have access to all their material. I have the Instagram Matrix, the Abundance Academy, and then I have a sneak peek of both. And then I have Unlocking Your Divine Abundance, which is the ebook, and then the Instagram Matrix Playbook, which is the ebook. Of course, all of my current students kept access to all of that during this time.
2,000 students. What do they have access to? I would love to know. If you are a student of Jordan Cheyenne, I'd love to know. You don't have to leave it in the comments. You can DM me or send me an email too. I'd love to know, what do you have access to? What have you learned in her masterclass that you couldn't have learned elsewhere online for free? That's not me being snarky or smart or anything like that. I genuinely would like to know, because I find it so interesting that these influencers collect money off of people who want to do what they're doing, but then the product is so mundane and useless. That's the part where I look at it and I'm like, this feels scammy. This feels kind of, I don't like it. But again, that's just my opinion.
Something happened with my website I'm not gonna get into, but was only supposed to be deactivated, the homepage, and a certain few landing pages, and they did get deleted. So I'm just having my whole website redone, but she's gonna be up and ready and running soon. Realistically, probably like 4 to 6 weeks. It takes some lead time to get that done, but obviously we're not just rolling over and not creating content this year and not going after our business goals. We are thriving this year, okay? I'm gonna be 30, well, I was gonna say 32. I'm gonna be 31 in 2 weeks, and it's just pop-off season, okay? It's thriving season, it's learning, healing, and growing season. This past year was definitely one of the worst in my life, I'm gonna be honest. Definitely. I'm smiling because it was just so terrible to hide the fact that it was really rough on just like a million levels. And I absolutely am so happy and grateful to be coming out.
Well, it was a terrible year, but again, let's not forget that it was your own actions, what you were doing, what people saw, mistakenly uploaded to YouTube. So that's why I'm sorry, but I cannot feel genuinely bad for Jordan Cheyenne. I cannot have genuine pity or sorrow for her having to take a break. Do I agree with the few nasty comments or threats that she allegedly received, if she received them, because trust is gone with influencers? No, I don't agree with it if those things actually happened. But on the flip side, she is, in my opinion, she was just exposed for what really happens behind the scenes of a YouTube thumbnail.
Out of that season of my life, and I am going to make this year the absolute best possible. Okay, I just finished up most of my makeup off camera because I realized this video is getting way too long. So I just threw on some lower mascara and a Lancome Juicy Tube for my lips. But I just want to answer a few more questions while we're here. A lot of things are like, yeah, did you have to get a job? Where are you currently living? A lot of people are asking about if Rosie's in dog training. She's currently not, but she needs to be in training. She does. Honestly, Sadie is gonna be 4 and she still needs to be in training. So depending where I move, if we're in a house, whatever, I definitely need to get the dogs some training for sure. She's super cute. I mean, she's hyper. She's got like the puppy zoomies, like she goes a little nuts. But if you know Sadie, like we always joke saying that Sadie has her ADHD of her own because she's just so hyper all the time. But I've been taking them to the dog park a lot and a lot of places to just outside on grass, to run and get their energy out. But obviously, yeah, a home is like more ideal. A lot of people are asking about fitness content. So you see what happened. The thing that happened was, as we know, been over a million times, was in like a very bad mental state, depression. It was pretty, a low point in my life these past months, and just straight.
Okay, so the rest of it, she's kind of talking about her fitness and her journey, so I don't really want to react to that. I don't care really. But to close out my thoughts on this whole thing, because this will probably be my final video on her for at least the near future, like I said, unless something crazy happens. I understand that things can get very high strung. They can become very emotional, especially when you're dealing with a sick pet, not knowing what's going to happen with the sick pet. Sadness, the financial side of things, because let's be honest, having a dog is very expensive, especially when we're dealing with diagnoses and them having to possibly stay at the facility to be treated. So there's a lot of things. I sympathize with that side of it because I'm a dog owner, but I also look at the other side and think, if she could have just put content on the back burner and put this emotional video and getting the thumbnail and all that on the back burner to care for her child's needs in that moment, we would not be here today. So if anything, to all the other influencers that want to vlog their kids, this should be a moment that they can reflect on and say, wow, I never want to put content above the emotional or mental needs of my child when we're going through a really hard time. Not everything is content. Not everything is how can we drum up views? How can we make more money? But at a certain point, I also think that the influencer integrity is just so diminished and depleted because they start seeing those bigger AdSense checks based off of the sad vlogs or the clickbait vlogs or the ones with the sad thumbnails. And at a certain point, it's just a lost cause. So good luck to Jordan. I hope that she does well, but more so, I hope that her son is getting the help that he needs, because he's the one that I really worry about here. And yeah, so we'll see what the future holds. But either way, for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.